Hello, Frog fans. Welcome back to Postgame Beers. We are the Lupton Drinking Club. I'm your host, Kyle Malloy, joined by my co-host, Jacob Sailors. We've got our producer, Crazy Ray Cartwright. We've got the horse, of course, Garrett Evans. We're missing our Sultan of Stat. Unfortunately, he is diving deep into some stats to bring you more content on the Patreon that we have started. So, fellas, this is our last week of opponent breakdowns, which is good and bad. Actually, no, I'm going to say it's good and also good. We're going to finish up opponent breakdowns, and we're going to dive really deep into a LDC Megapod next Thursday, where we break down everything about the TCU baseball team. So really looking forward to that as well. But
yeah, that could be a 2-hour episode next week.
It could be 2 hours. It should be 2 hours if we're doing the things right.
Yeah, hang with us tonight through one more preview pod, and then next week we get to actually talk about the Frogs. So
we're going to go through every Super Bowl prop bet too. Next week.
Oh God, it's just a sea of crap under those props.
I mean,
hey, let's start off the show with this. Sorry, MK. I want to Travis in the chat. Hey, Travis, I'm going to ask you a question, and you can answer me on the chat. Are you chatting through Patreon? Because we're testing out our Patreon feed tonight with this live episode.
Looks like YouTube.
Okay. Oh yeah, you're right. I see the icon. Okay. I'll check on that in a minute. But he asked a good question here. I'll just bring it up. Will there be an in memoriam segment for King's Liquor tonight?
Dude, there needs to be protests.
Yeah.
I'll go be a legal observer. But
so maybe I'm too old. Maybe I'm too old to know that there's actually like liquor store debate amongst the TCU community. I was a King's Liquor frequent customer. I don't know about you guys.
I have a confession to make live on the air on tonight's pod.
Let's hear it.
I've never once stepped inside that King's Liquor.
Really?
All right. Well, and that's the end of Ray with the LDC. So it was a good run, buddy. It was a good run.
We had fun.
So Kings, for me in undergrad, we did parties before football games, and they would supply me with very fairly priced kegs for those parties. And 100%. So I'll always have fond memories of that.
Yep. Great spot for the keg pickup.
Our house was basically like we were in a house, like a real house, not a fraternity, across from the business school. And so now it's like it turned into a parking lot, and now they're building a building, like it's, put up a house in a parking lot or put up whatever.
Right. It's a magical place. Place.
It was a great spot to be in. And it was also a walking distance from King's. So that's really the only place we went, unless we were, trying to get away. At that time, Specs, I don't think was there.
Specs is all the way on Hewlin anyway. Ain't nobody trying to drive that far.
I know, that's outside of the bubble, brother.
Yeah, that's outside. Okay, so tell me about, all right, Garrett, when did you graduate again? I always forget.
I graduated in 2015.
Okay, so only a year after me. But are you familiar at all with Blue Bonnet Liquor?
Blue Bonnet Liquor.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah. The one right there in the circle.
Yeah.
How
long has this been around?
That was a good. That was there when I was a student, because I used to live right down the street from it. Yeah.
Man, King's just had me by the nuts, I guess, because I never even heard of Blue Bonnet Liquor.
No, King's was like truly magical. I don't know if you guys knew this, and but if you were hypothetically on the top floor of the Grand Mark and you threw beer bottles onto the roof of King's, they would bounce. Hypothetically.
Yeah. Well, so what I've heard is so Blue Bonnet, my friends took me there like my junior year, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna go grab some booze for tonight. And we pulled up, and there was a big sign. It was like, we're closed. There was a fire. And they were like, oh my gosh, there was a fire. And they were trying to make it a big deal. But it was supposed to be a joke, because I didn't actually know about the fire. And so they just took me there to tell me that it was they're trying to play a prank on me. But I don't think I still don't get the joke. It was like, hey, let's go to this store.
That's a great prank.
Yeah. And then we just went somewhere else.
King's.
King's.
Sure,
exactly right.
Circled around.
Hey guys, it may come as a shock to you guys, but we're not technical experts when it comes to broadcasting because I don't see the stream on Patreon. That's a problem.
Oh
Oh no.
Yep.
Patreon.
I mean, which is okay. I mean,
once-
this is a free episode, right? But we are doing our first subscriber only pod tomorrow. We would like to announce the Big 12 Pack podcast coming to you starting tomorrow, where we'll cover everything Big 12 related, especially I'll say exclusively with the sport of baseball. Maybe more sports later, but right now it's going to be baseball focused, obviously, as we head into baseball season. But episode 1 of the Big 12 Pack drops tomorrow. That's if I can figure out streaming.
Man, MK on cue with the drop.
Right.
Speaking of Big 12, okay. So JD, going back to the Patreon, you posted an article this week. Okay, let me just say this. 4 articles have been posted on our Patreon from JD and Martin in the last week since our last podcast.
Grinding.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
they're going crazy with this.
I
stuff.
worry that this is like a 5K and we're sprinting out of the gate.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. I was like, have you blown your load already?
Yeah,
No,
Jacob on a Saturday night, he had 2 pump chump.
We'll see. Only time will tell, right?
Okay, I want to read some of the articles that you guys have posted. Not just the titles. All right. So,
Sure.
Comparative analysis of Omaha teams and how TCU fits. I found that very intriguing.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
Top ops seasons in Lupton Stadium history by Martin.
Yep.
That was really cool. He did a 2025 Summer Frogs recap. So looking back at what they did during the summer leagues and kind of, how they're doing, how they're expected to do. And the latest one, Big 12 baseball head coaches hot seat or seat temperature, which I was dying based on the pictures. I know they were supposed to be GIFs, but they were pictures. They still worked.
No, they were supposed to be pictures. Dude, I can't even get the podcast to stream. Don't ask me how to embed GIFs yet.
So
we'll get there.
So this was an article of every Big 12 head coach and kind of where they are in the hot seat. And I would like to read one of them if you're okay with that.
Please do.
Our guy, Pete Hughes from Kansas State.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So
the homies hate Pete Hughes.
So Jacob says, okay, look, nobody likes this guy.
Good start.
I'm not even sure K-State fans like this guy. He's callous. He's a complainer. He's also a winner. Top 40 RPI in the last 2 years, won Fayetteville Regional 2 years ago, and he sends guys to the draft. Pete isn't going anywhere. So his seat in terms of how hot or cold he's doing was credit where credit's due, I guess. I thought that was a perfect summation, a perfect example of kind of the content that you guys are providing of like, hey, this is a great short little blurb about Pete Hughes and kind of where they're at, and yeah, and then of course the worst person, just made a great point. Damn it, Pete Hughes, why do you keep winning?
Yeah, that was a fun one to do. Learned a lot myself doing the research on it about where these coaches, how these coaches have done, and tried to make it a little easier reading than maybe the deep comparative analysis of Omaha teams, which was to me was really interesting. But it's you got to really concentrate to absorb the data. Well, I think this one's a little more lighter.
For football, most fans know every coach, right? Because they're blasted on ESPN. We see them all the time. If they don't win in 2 or 3 years, then they're fired. Baseball, it definitely flies more under the radar. And so you've got teams like Houston or hell, Josh Holliday at Oklahoma State, who's been there for 15 years. You kind of forget about these guys. So it's nice to remember their names, kind of where they're at. Is Utah going to fire their coach even if they're bad? Probably not, because they don't have any other options, So,
there we go.
Great summary. And anything else you want to talk about on the Patreon and kind of the work you guys are doing?
Yeah, well, I just want to, again, we're going to just beat this into the ground, but thank you to all the subscribers. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's patreon.com/Lupton Drinking Club. We'd love to have you over there. We're going to give you your money's worth. I'm very confident in saying that now. So,
I mean, if you paid $6 already, you've gotten what, 4 or 5 articles. I mean, that
without a single podcast yet, which
Yeah.
I think is going to be kind of the meat of the content once we start doing the subscriber only podcast.
pretty awesome. Okay. So next segment, news and notes.
Oh, I didn't prepare that. I don't.
News and notes.
Yep. Sorry, that was my bad. Hey,
News?
we'll follow up on the Patreon tomorrow before we talk about Big 12 team. We'll do news and notes there.
More
And that
questions than answers.
And that was news and notes.
So much for the recurring segment. RIP 2 weeks.
Maybe it's thawing out like the rest of Fort Worth. It's thawing out.
You set me up last week to be like, no, we're going straight into news and notes every single week. News and notes.
Damn, what a letdown by me. My bad, guys. I didn't prepare. Maybe at the end of the pod, maybe I can scramble something together.
All good. Hey, Ray, I'm going to let you take it on our sponsor. Can you talk about Long Drink for 30 seconds?
Oh man, the greatness of Long Drink. Finnish legend of 1952. Born out of the Summer Olympics. You know, I know it's cold outside right now, but summer's right around the corner, and there is no better option to enjoy frog ball than with an ice cold Long Drink. Finnish legend of 1952. Back to you, MK.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Now, it is cold out, but I'll tell you this, over the Christmas break, now I know it's a little warm, but my cousin was crushing long drinks
A
at the
little
family
warm. It
gathering.
was like 80 degrees. For
Yeah, I feel you, but I feel you.
A little warm.
I think the problem
near
is your
spring
cousin's
break.
Like, is your cousin like 19? That's a problem. Jacob.
No.
I heard he was actually 14.
All right, fella, this is our last week of previews. So let's get into them. Let's knock them out. And that way we can get to the good stuff next week. So we're going to start off with an April series against Arizona, which we are hosting. Should be interesting. Garrett, you're up, buddy. Let's talk about these Cats.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Arizona Wildcats. So it's kind of a weird year for them. Obviously, they're going to be talented, but it's also a little bit of a rebuild mindset, if you will, simply because they're losing so much of their talent. Their offense did take a pretty big hit from the draft going into this year. Brendan Summerhill gone, Aaron Walton gone, Mason White gone, plus graduations and the like. But they're going to put together a good squad this year. Biggest returners, one gentleman named Andrew Kane, who TCU is going to be very familiar with. Versatile lefty. He was the one who hit the game-tying home run in the Big 12 title game. And his buddy is also back, Maddox Mihalakis, game-winning single in the 10th. Reliable corner infielder. Good outfielder back as well, Easton Breyfogle. So they do have some good returning older talent to this team that they are going to round out with a really good class of transfers they've brought in. I think I saw their class they are bringing in this year are ranked around 35-ish nationally in the country. And I think D1 has the Cats ranked 38 nationally this year, number 7 in the Big 12, something like that. But no, they're hoping for another regional berth this year. Obviously, they were disappointed with the results that they had in Omaha last season, and they think they've got a shot to get back in the regional again this season. As far as their pitching staff goes, they do have some returning guys from the College World Series roster. Smith Bailey, he'll be pitching for them. Owen Krakowski are both back as core rotational pieces. A really elite closer in Tony Pluta will be playing for the Cats this year. And senior Garrett Hicks, another high-volume reliever. New additions, they have 19 newcomers in total. 10 of those are pitchers. 9 of them are position players. We don't have to go through all of them, but they are some standouts. A lot of guys from bigger programs. They got a senior pitcher out of Texas Tech, Mr. JT Drake. They got a left-handed pitcher out of Tulane, Mr. Luke Fleta. They got some lefties in there for balance as well. and a whole slew of incoming position players. We've got a dude from Oregon State, Oklahoma State's Bo Sylvester, Milwaukee's Tyler Bickers. So yeah, it's a stacked class of new additions for them. Starting rotation potentials that we will see, we'll definitely catch old Smith Bailey. He'll probably be the Friday night guy. Krumkowski, we'll certainly see him either Saturday or Sunday. I imagine we'll probably see a good amount of Luke Flotta as well. Pluto will be their closer. Best hitters, already talked about them, but it's the returning talent and Easton, Andrew, and Maddox. Easton will probably be hitting the leadoff because he's fast out of the outfield. All in all, it's going to be a competitive team, dudes. How do y'all feel about Arizona this year?
Did
You
anyone
talked
else forget
about-
that they were in Omaha last year?
Huh?
I did not.
No, because I thought they were going to actually make a little bit of noise last year.
They had so much talent, dude. Like Garrett, you
Yeah.
talked about the guys they lost. So let me just run through a few of these. I'll just do, let's see, they had 9 guys drafted last year. I'll do just the first 5 rounds. Brendan Summerhill, outfielder, first round of the Rays. Aaron Walton, outfielder, second round of the Guardians. Mason White, their shortstop, 4th round of the Red Sox. Adonis Guzman, their catcher, 5th round to the Pirates.
That's a lot of offensive talent.
Yeah.
That's
it's a
an
lot of
Omaha
talent.
team. Like, if you have that much talent, I mean, you're probably going to go to Omaha.
Yeah, no doubt. And they're still bringing 3 position players back from that Omaha run too, in Easton, Andrew, and Maddox. So, I mean, they're certainly going to be a really solid squad for old Chip Hale this year.
Dude, I remember this time last year when Jacob was previewing Arizona, and he was talking about the offense will be elite, but the question marks were on the pitching side
Mm-hmm.
because they had a bunch of talent that, we just didn't know about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yep.
this year they returned every single one of their weekend starters from last year.
Yeah, and not to mention Pluta, who is getting all kinds of national love as the best reliever in the conference and one of the
he's
best
like
in the country.
Antoine Jean for Houston. More on them later.
Yeah, Owen Kremikowski and Tommy Lepore are kind of the 2 favorites for pitcher of the year in the conference. So,
Now,
but there is a lot of questions about the lineup, though. A lot of questions.
So, Jacob.
Yeah.
Quick, would you like, you said you needed some news and notes.
Yeah, dude. If you can pick me up there, that'd be great.
Okay, so earlier today, Kendall Rogers, our friend over at D1 Baseball, tweets out, Arizona Director of Pitching Development, Owen Cuffey, is headed to the Rockies organization.
Yep.
So while this is kind of notable, right, because their original Director of Pitching Ops, Kevin Vance, he left to be the head coach of San Diego State, right? So they had to replace him. So they bring in this John Deruin, Derouin. I am awful at pronunciating names.
Doran, I don't know. Doran,
well,
who cares?
He quickly leaves and goes to the Mets organization. Then they bring in this Owen guy, and now he's left right before the season starts to join the Rockies organization.
That's brutal.
So Chip Hale is going to have to make his 4th hire.
Yeah,
he's
going to announce it in private.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that's kind of wild.
That is crazy, dude.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Because know that, so let me think about TCU for a second. Some of these guys have probably been approached by not just other college programs, but maybe like a lower level position.
Name the pitching coach before Kirk. Try.
I can't. And maybe that's it. Is that the answer? It's like,
well, Randy Mazey was the offensive guy before Bill, right?
So I'm not. I realize this is obviously my homerish, but like Andy Reid's the offensive coordinator / head coach of Kansas City, right? None of his offensive coordinators have been very good, right? Because he's the guy. It's like you've got Matt Nagy who sucks, and Eric Bieniemy's coming back, and these guys don't get head coaching jobs somewhere else. So it's almost like the same thing where
wrong one.
If Kirk is, not, I'm not saying he's not developing his staff. It's just that maybe he's the guy, for
Yeah,
pitching.
and Kirk has two, guys who they're pretty happy where they're not up and comers looking for their
Mhm.
next job, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Like Bill left to go coach Ohio State, realized,
Came
there's
back.
no place like home. And Dave Long, is he looking for his next big job? It feels
Yeah.
like he's pretty happy here.
And
Craig
Delora.
brings up a good point about Chip Hale. So Chip Hale took over the job a few years ago,
Yeah, that's a good point.
and he's becoming one of the best coaches in this league. As Craig says, he obviously has a great eye for coaching talent.
The Signetti
Or coaching talent, I
of
should
baseball,
say.
if
Let me
you
read
will.
it correctly. Yeah, no.
Yeah, this will be year 6 for old Chip Hale.
Yep. Just a little peel back of the Patreon. His seat is not hot after going to Omaha last year.
Whoa, wait a second. I was hoping
Yeah.
we'd get him for pitching coach next year.
Yeah,
They're
so
gonna be-
Arizona is, they're up there
be
with
good.
TCU as kind of the favorites in the conference, but man, they're going to need that lineup to come together.
Yeah.
When you lose that much talent, so I feel like a lot of times projections can be there's a little bit of lag there where we weren't sure about Arizona last year. They went to Omaha, so now everybody's high on them. But did everybody miss the train? Now is Arizona going to take a step back this year because of all the talent they lost? Like I read off those guys who went in the first 5 rounds. The next 5 guys that got drafted were all pitchers. So they lost a lot of pitching talent too.
I like having them at home. I'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm. They're still bringing back a lot though.
They are. They're going to be. I'm not
as
saying
far
they're
as
going to be
pitching
bad,
continuity goes. They're going to be stout.
So we should
Lepore versus
consider
Kromowski on Friday night is going to be. You better be at
Oh.
that one at Lupton.
That's going to be must-watch TV.
Yeah, it's going to be must watch live.
Well, yeah. Figure of speech, right?
I hear you. All right, who's next, MK?
Good
job, Garrett.
Garrett's up to do a
Garrett's
good
still
week
up.
against Tarleton. Real quick, let's give us 3 to 5 facts on Tarleton.
The Texans.
Not much. Yeah, not much for Tarleton. They were really, really stinky last year. That's exceptionally stinky. They didn't really bring anything of note in to make them less stinky. They're relying on returning veterans who are already pretty stinky. Chances are they're going to be stinky yet again. So we need to just take care of business against
I
Tarleton.
wonder if they still have like one of the worst D1 ballparks in Texas.
Oh, well, do you think they've made a big investment in facilities out there?
Yeah, I'm sure they're really throwing money at the baseball program in Stephenville.
I just remember sharing they got those, they are the nice trailer porta potties, right? But sharing them with players mid-game is a wild experience.
Hey, bro, can I go in front of you? I'm on deck.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, funny story. Our freshman year, we were playing at Arlington High, and it was a tournament game, middle of the afternoon, and I'm on deck, and our third baseman was hitting in front of me, and they announced his name to hit. He's nowhere to be found. They announced his name, I think 2 or 3 times. I'm standing on deck like, is he out? Am I up? What's going on? He comes sprinting out of the bathroom from the concession stand behind home plate, and he's like, everybody's just looking at him. He goes, my bad, guys.
Hold his bridges, still trailing toilet paper on his cleats.
Yeah.
Imagine standing next to some guy in a stall who just made an error. Just like, hey, you want to figure that out next time? Or
Right. Hey, if you're curious about are we over or underestimating Tarleton, we're 24-2 against them.
Yeah, I don't think we are. There's
So
nothing
we're
there.
overestimating them. Based on
They were a sweet 5-17 on the road last year and 0-1 at neutral sites. So
Now, remind me, were we pissed off we only won 4-2 last year?
probably.
Yeah,
Win by enough.
stinky was a nice way of putting it.
Yeah. Last time we lost was in the year 2000.
All right, moving on.
Okay.
All right, so following Tarleton midweek game at Lupton, Frogs travel to that place down south. Ray, I'd love for you to tell us about the new Magnolia Field in Waco down there.
Okay. So Baylor, they haven't been a good program since Mitch Thompson took over. I think he will be his 4th year entering with the Bears. But would you be surprised to know that the Baylor Bears last year won 33 games?
I'll tell you why I'm not surprised. It's because their non-conference was one of the worst.
Yeah.
Sorry if I'm stealing your thunder there. But
No. I mean, I was just to point out that they won. They went 20-5 in non-conference last year.
Just a horrid schedule. And I think when you're building a program, it's good to stack wins.
You kind of
so
have to,
I don't fault them for it, but boy, did they get a wake up call in conference play.
Yeah, I think they played Oregon State.
They did have that tournament, right? Auburn. Yeah.
Yeah. Those were 2 losses. And then I think they did beat UTSA in non-con last year. I mean, UTSA went on to beat Texas in regionals. A nice little feather in their cap. But that was kind of an older Baylor team. Lost a lot on offense. And now this year they will be Cubs more than Bears. They'll be a very young team.
Yeah.
A lot of freshmen. Pitching staff's the pitching staff's still pretty veteran. It's kind of like Arizona, but like Family Dollar Arizona.
Yeah.
If that makes sense to y'all, a lot of vets on the mound, inexperience in the lineup, and probably a quarter of the talent as in Arizona. Given, DraftKings released their odds today on the Big 12, and they are at number 10, I believe, like plus 1,600.
That's about right, I think, for this
I
Baylor Bear squad.
Hey, who knows?
Don't do it.
And I think to close out our preview of the last couple of Big 12 teams, last couple of series, you're going to sense a common theme.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're all kind of similar.
Yeah.
And that they have the potential for that 10th spot. Like we're talking about potential for the 10th spot to make the Big 12 tournament, right? I feel like that's all these teams' goals this year that we're going to talk about now that we've gotten the Big Bear, Arizona out of the way, right?
The big cat.
Yeah, the big cat.
I don't know the right person to ask this question to, but when you're a coach of one of those teams that you're literally trying to make the Big 12 tournament. I mean, postseason is a goal, obviously, but what are you realistically talking to your team about? I mean, if you're that bad,
stack wins.
Yeah, just get better. Just trust the process, get better kind of thing. Mitch Thompson, his first 2 years were just dog water. One of the worst programs in the country. RPIs in the mid 100s. Last year they were around, I don't have it in front of me, but around 75. So there's a lot of like, if you listen to some other Big 12 preview pods, they'll say Baylor's building something. I'm not buying it. I'm sorry. Like if you want to say you're building something going from one of the worst teams in the country to just regular terrible, you can consider that building something. But
that is a building block, right? If you're building being utter dog shit and then not so dog shit.
You know what?
We're stacking
regular dog shit.
We're stacking dog shit on top of each other.
I'm going to say clip that. And then if I'm wrong, if Baylor's in a regional this year, then you know what? Cell phone. I'll own it myself.
I mean, okay. Yes, Baylor they're not going to be very good, although they have a lot of lefties in their rotation. And, historically, TCU hasn't fared very well against lefties because we've been predominantly.
Dude, that needs to be studied because I feel like that's an old thing.
Maybe it's just because some of the worst, some of the standout games are against soft tossing lefties. That always seem to be old past teams' bugaboo.
Yeah. But I feel like if we go back the last, I don't know, the Kirk era, we can find as many times where we've just hammered soft tossing lefties as we have, been shut out or whatever.
I will say, if you were trying to if there was a Chip Magnolia Dr. Pepper drinking club, doing their pod, about Baylor, Rosie rosy picture is the athletic department is wanting to invest, right? They got a huge donation
I would also
into
like
the
to
program.
invest in a lot of other houses and buy them and rent them out.
Yep.
That's what I would like to do as well.
I mean, it feels like, at least it seems like they're getting more support from their current administration than, let's take an example, Texas Tech.
Yeah.
And their current administration, right?
Well, they did just have a changeover in leadership, so that may
New AD
have an effect. Yeah.
Huge donation.
We got to say though, Travis Sanders, their shortstop's a good player.
Yes, very good. I want to say they also had a Big 12. They had a Big 12 freshman.
It's either going to be Brady Janusik or Hunter Snow. Hunter Snow.
Yeah, I want to say, and maybe I'm getting them mixed up with Houston because I feel like these are very similar profile teams.
Well, Baylor's going to have 2 true freshmen in their lineup. So both outfielders.
Yeah, and they brought in, and it's so hard to judge the perfect game rankings, right? Because each class size is different and all that, but they were 66th in the country, and their average player rating is 3.
You just really hate to see it for Baylor.
Yeah. I'm hoping for whenever we have post game LaCroix that Monday that it's a sweep away.
I kind of think the programs like Baylor, and we're going to talk about Houston up next. They need to kind of follow the route that UCF is following, right? You're not going to get. It's very hard to get talent into your programs, right? So reach out,
transfer you.
Either transfer you, but international you. Go to Latin America. That's where a lot of UCF's roster, they've got, if you look on there, there's kids from Curacao, Venezuela, the Dominican.
Okay, but they're going to Orlando. That's attractive. Like, if I go down to Curacao and I'm like, you want to come to Waco and play baseball? I'm like, nah, man, I'm good here in Curacao.
More, do you want, I don't know. More, maybe it's the prospect of coming to America to play baseball.
Is Waco actually America?
Yeah, that's
what we need.
That's a good question. Is Waco America?
It's definitely something. It has it does have a Texas zip code.
That's just on paper.
Yeah.
There is construction.
Did they ever get there?
35 is always under construction going through there.
Did they ever get those restaurants that they were promising recruits back in like 2015?
Oh, Papacitos.
Yeah.
Or Papados. Not Papacitos, Papados.
Yeah. Did they ever get a Papados?
That
was so crazy, dude.
That was along the time of Twin Peaks and its big famous moment in the Waco scene.
Yeah.
All right. Good recap of Baylor, Ray. Learned a lot, and
he learned a little.
I learned
more questions than answers.
I learned at least a thing, so that was nice.
They're a young team. Who knows?
All right, so let's flash forward in the season to the first or the second weekend in May. The Frogs, no. Actually, no. Sorry, I'm out of order here. 1 weekend later, Frogs are hosting Houston. All right,
the Cougars. And I imagine in Jacob's article, out of all the coaches that he named as potential, TCU legend, Mr. Todd Whitting, was his seat's probably the hottest of the hot.
Subscribe and find out.
Yeah, you'll have to subscribe. That's patreon.com/Lupton Drinking Club. And then also while you're there, just go on over to YouTube and smash that like and subscribe over there too.
Why is that, right? Why is the seat hot?
They just they haven't produced anything. They've been kind of awful. So what does a coach that is on the hot seat needs to go out and get a new pitching coach? Save his job. Where does he turn?
Arizona.
Arizona, yeah.
Oh, well, that would be smart money, right? No, we're going to go look west, though. Maybe a little northwest, not as far
Is this
west
another
as
Rockies
Arizona.
hire? Who was?
No, this would be Matt Gardner, former Texas Tech head
God.
pitching coach, is now down in Houston
Oh,
applying his talents and crafts for the Cougs.
Oh man. Okay. R.I.P. Todd Whitting. Like, he had a nice career.
I mean,
Good.
hey,
Good night, man.
he's got a couple of nice pitchers that had 6+ ERAs.
Yeah. Do you think the Houston
really-
fan is fired up about Matt Gardner coming to town?
No.
Do we
Would
know?
you rather have Matt
don't think
Gardner
that-
or a Rockies coach?
Okay. Hold on. Does the average Houston fan even know Matt Gardner is their pitching coach?
Do
I
do
don't
we know
know.
any
What-
Houston baseball fans?
Not a one, dude. I mean, look, there was a time where that was a pretty proud program.
Yeah. Not in my time of being a college baseball fan. Maybe
I will
a time.
say, when I was in high school playing and, you had thoughts about playing in college, Houston would have been a pretty prestigious offer to get.
I
And,
want to
okay, so
say their last Omaha appearance was something like 1967, 1961.
Omaha. Yeah, they have one Omaha appearance in 67, but they did have a string of, so from 02 to, we'll call it 2018, they went to 7 regionals and 3 super regionals. So that's a nice little run they had.
Yeah, that's not bad.
And even going, before that, they hosted 3 regionals from 99 to 01, 3 in a row. They hosted a super in 2000.
That's a long time ago. That's before 9/11.
I'm just saying there's a cluster
Never
of time.
forget.
There's a cluster of time where they had a lot of success. But
I don't think a single player on their roster was born before 2000, that regional appearance in 2000.
yeah.
Be
But
willing to bet.
the pride is gone.
The Cougar pride.
Now I will say, okay,
It's
to
not there.
Houston. We've been doing nothing but bash Houston, right? They do have one interesting guy on their team.
They do.
Tell me about this guy. I'm really excited now.
Now he was a Cape Cod All-Star MVP over the summer.
All right.
His name is Trey Broussard. He'll be
Yep.
manning the outfield, center field, I believe. He is the 46th ranked prospect for the upcoming MLB draft
There you
this
go.
year, ranked
There you
by MLB Pipeline.
You go, Cougs.
So they've got
Yeah,
him,
he's a good player.
and they no longer have. We briefly mentioned his name earlier, Antoine John, who just gave the
Oh my
Frogs
God.
fits
Yeah.
that Friday night.
He was the
last
Tony
year-
Pluta of last year for sure.
Yeah. So we no longer have to worry about him. He's gone, been drafted. They do have to contend with a lineup last year that I believe batting average wise ranked 255th in D1 baseball. And you pair that with Richie Roman, who will probably be their Friday night guy again, 6+ ERA, and Paul, I want to say his name, Paul Schmitz. He had an ERA near 6, probably be their Saturday guy. And that doesn't seem like a good combination to
Nah.
have terrible batting average and giving up a lot of runs.
Yeah. And go back to Trey Broussard for a second. So last year against TCU, 2 for 12 with a walk.
Yeah, which is maybe it's just because of his summer league.
No, dude, he's good. He's a good player. Like we talked about him previewing that series last year.
Yeah, but the numbers don't pop at you. Like you would think a guy he's ranked 2 spots behind Chase Brunson. Like, you look at Chase
Yeah.
Brunson, you look at Trey Broussard and their numbers, and you're like, Chase clears him by a mile.
Yeah, you're right.
So even
Right.
if you have some potential,
It's got to be like
right?
metrics. Like,
It's tools.
Even
Yeah.
if you have some potential, right, that you could possibly play at a better program, why would he stay at Houston for another year?
Don't know.
that's a good question.
It is a good question.
You know, LSU's right there. Maybe
He's
they'll
from
just
he,
be
he
the-
is from Houston. He's a hometown kid.
I mean, dude,
So that
save
can go a
lot of
long
money
way with guys. Yeah.
staying at home, you know.
I mean, Houston's kind of a wonky school. I mean, if you look at their athletics program overall, like they signed a legit 5-star quarterback this year for their football team.
That's where all their money went.
Well, yeah. I mean, and it should, right? Football should get that, but you know,
Yeah.
they've always got a couple of guys. And the Houston area is, and what is weird, because the Houston area is rich in baseball talent. Like, look
Yeah,
at a lot of the great frogs.
Yeah.
They're from the Woodlands, from that Houston area.
But they go to A&M, they go to Texas, TCU, LSU. You know,
Yeah.
or
There's
to
a
the
pecking
draft.
order, right?
Right.
And they're battling like the Rices of the world down in Houston
and
for talent.
Baylor, for whatever that's worth.
For what it's worth.
UTSA even.
Yeah, now that UTSA's starting to make, and maybe even Rio Grande Valley, UT
Yeah.
Rio Grande Valley.
Absolutely. But I mean, UT, we're getting off the rails a little bit. They're pretty homegrown, Rio Grande Valley.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of talent in Texas.
I know it.
You just need good coaching, and
Do we have them at home? We should have
Yeah,
them at home, right?
we do have them at home this year.
Yeah, 'cause
I
we were
mean,
there
it's
last
got to be
year.
a sweep, right? Like you got to.
Yeah.
you
I
gotta
mean,
sweep them.
it's one of those series like last year we needed to sweep them down there. We dropped the Friday night game thanks to
Right.
Antoine John slamming the door in our face. So yeah, we need to get that sweep.
Especially with when you look at TCU schedule as a whole and just how road heavy
Yes.
the heavyweights are. You really need to make noise at Lupton this year.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good if you like winning, it's a good year to get season tickets for sure. Because they should win, they should have a ridiculous home record.
I do like winning.
I
Winning,
do like winning too.
fun.
Winning is fun.
Could get some wings. Let's go.
Wangs.
All right. Thanks, Ray. Good preview on Baylor and Houston. Let's move on to our last two teams we're going to preview before the season starts, fellas.
Yeah.
All right, Garrett. We've got Utah in the second weekend of May. Utah, I didn't realize until today that they had a baseball team. So tell me about it and tell me about what's going on up there.
Should remember the last
Yeah.
series of the year last year.
Yeah, the biggest news coming out of Utah this year, very similar to our Baylor Bears, is brand new shiny facility.
Yeah.
The Salt Lake Tribune has dubbed it the college baseball's new Disneyland.
Oh,
So if there's anything to be excited about over in Utah,
so they're going to be playing some Mickey Mouse defense out there in Utah.
maybe so, man. They obviously were horrible last season, but that's not to say they don't have standout talent, specifically at pitching. But they're probably going to be a fairly middle of the road team again. Obviously, they're anchored by Colton McAinley. He's going to be, I'm sure,
McAnally. Sorry, Garrett. There you go.
McAnally.
There you go.
He'll probably be a Friday night guy. The dude is a hoss, so I'm kind of excited to watch him pitch in Fort Worth this year. That'll be a lot of fun. Outside of him, we'll probably see Peyton Risk. He only had 2 starts for them last year before an arm injury, but they expect him to be a substantial contributor this year. Another pitcher to look out for is a transfer in Ryan Kittredge out of Cal Baptist. He had 44 career appearances with the Lancers. Another big kid too, 6'2", 205 pounds. So all in all, they're probably going to pitch pretty well, anchored by Coulter. As far as their bats go, biggest standout returning guy is Matt Flaherty, big lefty. I don't know if he'll be at short or second, but he'll be entering his final year with the Utes. His career, he's had 114 starts. He's hit 280 with 15 doubles in 2025. Southern California guy too, which I feel like you just see all the freaking time. They got it. Speaking of California, they got a transfer in Nevin Noonan out of San Diego State. He did some pretty big numbers for the Aztecs last year. He'll be contributing for the Utes. What do you guys want to know about this team, man? Anything like super stand out about Utah that y'all want me to hit on?
I mean, McAnally's the story here, right?
That's really it. I mean, at the end of the day, when you think about Utah, you think about a guy who's going to be a first-round draft pick.
Yeah,
McAnally. So,
do you remember our game against him last year?
I do not. Refresh my memory.
Okay. So we jumped on, like we talked about how good he was in the deep dish, and then TCU jumped on him for 4 runs through 3 innings. Okay, you're like, well, we got to their starter, their one really good arm, right? So we should be fine. We have Lepore. We jumped on McAnally. Go to the 6th inning. TCU is down 5-4 in this game. We go to the 9th. It's our last bat. We're still down 5-4. Cannot believe we're going to drop this game. TCU scores 9 in the 9th to win 13-5.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, they're returning some good talent all across the field. I mean, they've got a plethora of outfielders they want to play with this year. They've got a handful of senior catchers to pick and choose from. So they're all that to say they're not going to be last place this season in the Big 12, and we can't.
You don't think so?
That's what I was going to say. Is McAnally enough to keep them from finishing last in the conference? Because
I think they've got enough old. I think they have enough older returning talent coming back offensively to carry the boat to not last place behind good pitching.
You would talk about returning, and we'll get into this with the next team. I mean, they return a lot. And the team that's just a little south of them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true. But again, they've brought some guys in that are going to contribute. That kid out of San Diego State was pretty good. They have 2 guys out of San Diego State, actually. The guy he started every day at third base. What's his name? Daniel Arambula from San Diego State, another Aztec. He's on this roster now. So, I mean, they're going to put together a lineup with new dudes mixed in with returning dudes. I don't know. I don't think they're going to be horrible.
Garrett, would you like to know their odds to win the Big 12 according to DraftKings?
It can't be great.
Plus 4,000.
Okay, we've got plus 4,000. Anyone else want to venture a guess?
Oh, let's see. 10,000.
We got a 10,000.
Give me 6.
Ooh, Garrett is our winner. Utah plus 6,000 to win the Big 12 this year.
Is anybody 10,000? Is that just a crazy guess?
Utah is the very last team listed.
I would need 10,000 to take them.
6,000.
Like, what a dumb bet. They're not winning the conference.
No, hell no.
No.
Definitely not.
I mean, who knows? I mean,
Hey,
McAnally could be a star this year, and they're almost guaranteed every Friday night. So if you're guaranteed Friday night, you just need to win one more game each weekend.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, this is another team. TCU did not sweep last year. After that Friday night game, we dropped the Saturday game.
That was a problem all last year, is they couldn't sweep anybody.
Drove me crazy.
Dude, I know that was it the Saturday game that went like 14 or 15 innings, and we had I thought we had something crazy going on the mound, pitching wise.
Let's see. We lost in 9. They scored 7 in the first and held on to win 8-6.
Okay, maybe it was Sunday.
Yeah, this was a Cademan Parker start that didn't go according to plan, I would say. This was, he got one out, allowed 7 runs on 6 hits, 1 walk, 1 hit by pitch, faced 8 hitters, allowed 7 runs.
So maybe it was the Sunday game that went extras. Because I remember something crazy.
Yeah, sorry, you're right.
on.
The Sunday game went 11. We won 8-6. Just freaking maddening, dude.
I love that comment. Too bad you have to face other teams Friday, guy. Yeah, that's going to be Utah's. That's gonna be Utah's problem. Yeah,
I mean, but they'll be able to match almost pound for pound.
I mean, if we're talking, if they would have win every Friday, 1-2 to 1,
right?
Maybe they can get her done.
And I do wonder how their new ballpark's going to play, because they used to play in the home of the Salt Lake Bees.
Yes.
This is a minor league team for the Angels. So I wonder how that new ball, because that outfield was like huge.
Yeah, I was trying to quickly find
in
the
Utah
dimensions on the new ball.
So I wonder how it's going to play. If it'll be a hitter's park, if the ball will jump, because they are at a little bit of elevation there in Utah.
It's going to be the Big 12 equivalent of Lindsey Neely or Lindsey, whatever the hell, in Tennessee.
Tennessee's Cracker Jack box.
Yeah. Or Wake Forest.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
So we have rounded out everybody we're playing. Let's finish out the Big 12 with BYU, a team we're not playing this year. Maybe we'll see them in the Big 12 tournament. Jacob, let's finish it off here.
Actually, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's really a shame we're not playing BYU this year, considering it was one of the 2 teams we actually swept last year. Last year, BYU was 28-7, but only 10-20 in conference. They snuck into the Big 12 tournament where they upset Arizona State. I don't know if y'all remember that. 4th-year head coach Trent Pratt is hoping that was a turning point for the program. They've only been to 1 regional in the last 24 years.
Oh,
yeah.
So they're investing in baseball. That's what I hear.
We're stacking,
man. Well, I will
stacking
say,
Cougar tails on top of Cougar tails.
You guys tell me, is this a good sign or a bad sign? You bring in 0 transfers in the lineup. Is this a Gary Patterson? We're bringing everybody back.
So
but we were 10-20 and bringing everybody back.
But if they're gone for 2 years, they come back older. That's technically not a transfer, right?
Hey, so Jacob, what was that old Gary Patterson quote?
That's what I was just saying. So the good news is we're bringing everybody back. The bad news is we were 10-20 and we're bringing everybody back.
Yeah,
it's a great quote.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so no transfers. So it's you kind of know what you're going to get with this team, but since we're not playing them, the real question is, are they going to contend for the conference?
No.
Like
I think all these teams we've previewed past Arizona can they get to that 10th spot?
Yeah.
Can they get to Arizona? Can they make it to surprise for the Big 12 tournament?
Yeah. Let's just assume Big 12 is going to get at minimum 7 bids into the tournament. So instead of talking about who do you think is going to win the conference, the better question is who's getting those 7 spots. Mm-hmm. And I got bad news for all the BYU fans out there that are listening.
I've had bad news for all the Baylor Bear and Houston Cougar fans. And
we're losing followers left and right here, guys.
The Houston market and the Waco market, they've just thrown their laptops across the room.
We are not getting any
whatever they're consuming.
I am unsubscribing from the Patreon.
Yeah,
just don't leave a 1-star review,
dude. Yeah, freaking tech. Anyway, all right. So let's just talk about a couple guys real quick, just for fun. Outfielder Bryker Herdsman is back to lead the offense. Had a 956 ops last year. He leads a core group that includes shortstop Ryder Robinson, catcher Parker Goff, and second baseman Luke Anderson.
Ryder Robinson, that was Martin's pick to click his freshman year.
Would Ryder have a starting spot on this team?
On this team, no. No. Where? He's not He's not playing second.
First base, maybe?
I don't think he.
Ryder Robinson had a good year last year.
He did.
As a sophomore.
for BYU, but I think
For
Lucas
BYU, yeah.
Franco's better.
Yeah, probably. I think if
Maybe
if
Franco's
we were
playing DH.
if we were committed to Ryder Robinson, maybe we don't get Lucas Franco. Maybe he just goes pro or goes somewhere else.
Yeah.
While their offense is decent, they're not good enough to overcome their pitching, led by senior right-handed pitcher Garrison Sumner. He had an 8.32 ERA last year, and there's just really no sugarcoating that. But a bright spot, he did have 60 strikeouts in 61 innings pitched. He'll be their Friday night guy. They'll also rely on senior left-handed pitcher Ashton Johnson, who was key out of the bullpen last year and especially lights out in BYU's upset win over Arizona State in the Big 12 tournament. Bottom line, it will take a miracle for this team to compete for one of the 7 to 8 bids the Big 12 is likely to receive in the tournament.
A miracle that could happen, depending on how many wives you have. So,
do we have any questions regarding BYU?
Not a question, but did y'all read Rooney's article on D1 baseball about the Big 12 review and all that?
I did not fully consume and download the BYU information from there. No, I
No.
did my own.
I mean, did you just read it and skim it? Right?
I skimmed it. I still have it on my list to really dig into it, but
I want to applaud Rooney and his rosy outlook,
dude. That's what I'm
for
saying.
BYU, Utah, Houston, Baylor.
he's positive on everything, though. I mean, that's
I mean, you kind of have to. You
So-
kind of got to give the readers
just
some
about
hope,
any
right?
Say,
But
So
like
look,
every
here's the
right
thing.
that he
Here's the
has
thing.
is
We are not a national
rose-colored
podcast,
glasses.
right? We are not. We are biased, but we're also we have no interest or obligation to the BYU fan out there to give them any kind of positive perspective. We're looking at this. Are you going to win the conference? Are you going to make the tournament?
it doesn't benefit
yes,
or destroy us if we say you're going to be great. Or
we
That's
don't
what
have to
I'm- yeah, so-
sugarcoat it.
Yeah. So we're looking at the way Rooney writes is, are they improving year over year?
Yeah.
So he looks at it relative to each team's current standing. I look at it and we look at it relative to TCU. Are you going to compete with us for the conference, or are you going to make the tournament? If yes, you're good. If no, you're not good. And we're going to say, BYU, you're not good. You're relative to TCU. You are not good.
nowhere to go but up for Utah then.
Well,
So I like to go
You
on
say
D1
that.
and read about like the worst teams in the country, and it's the same thing. They don't bash them. They say, well, they got a new pitching coach, and they have a senior group of relievers. You know, it could be your ass.
okay, can I
Like-
read you just a couple?
Sure.
For Utah, he ends it with, this program is hungry, well coached, and has a new lift in its step. Underestimate these Utes at your own peril.
I will underestimate them.
For BYU, the depth of this conference makes it difficult to leapfrog others in the standings, but the roster is the prototype for doing so.
Okay, what
And
conference do you plug Utah in? It's like, whoa, conference champs, baby.
Like, definitely not the Big West. I'm trying to think of
yeah,
conference.
I'm trying to think how low do we have to go?
That's what I'm saying.
Mountain West, maybe, but
Come on down to the WAC and play my
Would-
Tarleton
okay.
Texans.
Better question.
yeah.
Utah Tarleton 3-game series. Who wins?
Let's go.
Man.
Live in Stephenville.
Yeah. Anyway, all right.
God bless
It-
Runes.
So I believe, MK, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but that concludes our opponent previews.
We have concluded the opponent previews. Well done, gentlemen. Well done. Proud of you for spending time with some really, really shitty teams.
Hey, would y'all like the entire list of the DraftKings odds
Go ahead.
for the Big 12 this year?
Start at the bottom.
At the bottom, well, we got Utah
Plus 6,000.
plus
Woo!
6,000. For a cool plus 5,500, 5,500, you can get BYU
Wait a second. I just heard about them.
Okay.
I heard they could leapfrog some guys.
For plus 3,000, you can, this is a tie now. Split between, you can either place your money on Houston or Baylor at plus 3,000.
Wow. I feel like I know a lot about these teams right now.
So, four of those teams we talked about tonight are at the very bottom projected to win the conference. Next, we've got Cincinnati and Kansas State. You can get them at plus 2,000. Next, at plus 1,100 is a three-way tie. You can get Kansas, Texas Tech. For some reason, I'm not seeing it.
Give me 20 on Kansas.
Yeah, Kansas seems like that would be some good value.
Who's the third team?
And UCF at 1,100.
Okay.
Give me 10 on UCF.
West Virginia is next. West Virginia plus 600. So now you can kind of see the gap that these books see in the Big 12, right?
Boy, Kansas is so underrated, dude. So underrated there.
You can break it down by tiers, right? You have your plus 5,500 plus 6,000, 3,000 and above, right? That's Baylor, Houston, BYU, Utah. And then your next, kind of tier is Kansas State and Cincinnati. And then the tier after that, Texas Tech, Kansas, UC, which I don't get Kansas.
So in our current climate, we don't play every Big 12 team. We play Kansas for one game. It's a non-conference game during the middle of the week. Is that good, or would we rather play them 3 games so we have an understanding of how we
I wouldn't want them. I don't want them 3 games.
I don't want to play Kansas
unless it's back in Fort Worth.
Look,
so
I want to
kind of see.
I want to play the worst teams in the conference, win the conference, and host a regional. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, you want to play all those teams I just listed because DraftKings kind of seems the Big 12 as a 5-team race this year because all these teams that I'm about to list next are fairly close. West Virginia plus 600, Arizona State plus 550, Oklahoma State plus 500.
That's too high.
And then TCU and Arizona are tied at plus 400 to win the conference.
On that point, I want to shout out some new friends of ours in the podcasting sphere. They run the College Baseball Show. It's not a flashy name, but they put out some good content.
Generic
baseball.
The College Baseball Show. Okay, I listened to their Big 12 preview, and I will say I'm sorry, guys, I haven't listened enough to know who's who. But one of their hosts made a point that TCU is the most likely team in the conference to run away with the conference, to win by 3, 4, or 5 games. Now, other teams can win the conference, but it would have to be a close race.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Agree.
I thought that was a good point they made.
Yeah.
So
it's fun to hear from folks who aren't just plugged into TCU.
So we could really go off the rails if this team does not match expectations this year.
We'll talk tomorrow. We'll talk specifics about what expectation. Actually, no, we'll do this next week on the free pod. Next week we'll talk about what are the expectations and what is we'll just set a baseline, right? What's a pass fail for the season? We'll give that some thought. We won't riff on it tonight. We'll give it some thought and talk about it next week.
I took swimming 4 times at TCU and pass fail. And so I could just show up whenever I wanted because it didn't. Not pass fail, pass no credit.
Okay, break this down. I'm interested in this.
Yep.
If you take a swimming class and you fail,
no, it wasn't
how are you
fail.
still?
It was no credit.
Okay, no credit.
No credit.
How are you still with us today? Because
I kept taking it and I would show up whenever I wanted to swim and I wouldn't get credit for any of the classes.
What stroke were you doing where you're swimming? Were you doing a nice breaststroke, a nice doggy paddle? What are we doing here while we're in the pool?
On a 20 here. How do you not pass? That means you
don't show up.
Unfortunately, sadly, drowned.
No. If
you have to jump off the high dive.
Explain the rubric to me.
It was completely related to your attendance and not about your swimming style, like your competence in the pool.
I took a golf class and it was attendance wasn't even required.
After one PE, everything else was like free. So it's like weights every year, swimming, throw that in.
So my senior year, I was on veteran benefits, right? And you had to fill out a schedule, and they tell you they'll only reimburse you for classes that are on your degree plan. And I was like, we'll see about that. So I signed up for weightlifting. I signed up for golf. You know what those dudes at the VA did? They said, "Here's your money, sir." So if Doge wants to, I don't know where that is on their priority list, but
well, okay, Jacob. Well, let me make
Let's
it make
open up an
sense
inquiry
from the VA, right? Okay, weightlifting in the business world, you have to look good to close deals, right?
but it doesn't. It's not
And
part of
where
your
do you
degree
close
plan.
deals on?
On
The golf course.
That's right.
the pool. Oh, sorry. No, that's wrong.
No.
Yeah, at the pool, at the local Y.
Man, how
Hey.
bad is it for TCU Swim and Dive that
MK,
they've got to
can we get-
share the same pool with knuckleheads like
Yeah.
MK?
MK's out there doggy paddling around.
Yeah.
I'm out there doing backstroke, like blowing
He's on
water
a
out of my
he's on a
mouth.
floaty,
yeah,
a floaty
He's
stick.
he's got his
Travis-
floaties on.
Travis wants you to post the Speedo pic.
All right, done.
Only
With
on
your,
the
on
Patreon.
Patreon. On the Patreon.
Let me find one.
We
Yeah,
need to
that's
get
gonna
you
be-
some Super Frog
yeah.
floaties.
If you want to pay $6
or
a month,
something.
I'll post all the Speedo pics you want.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
Fellas, great job on the previews. I'm glad that we're done with them, but you guys did a great job with them, so I appreciate that. And then next week we're going to get to the really good stuff. We've got interviews
fun
lined up.
stuff.
We've got obviously TCU. We want to talk about the Frogs, so that's what we're going to do next week.
Yep.
And then after that, it's game week, fellas. So
Yep.
pretty excited.
So,
Let me shout out one more time the Big 12 Pack Pod on the Patreon tomorrow. We're kicking off our first episode. So if you haven't subscribed, you want to catch that episode, we're going to go in depth on the Big 12 as a whole, deeper than what we did on the opponent previews. So please check that out. Patreon.com/Lupton Drinking Club.
Can I come lob hand grenades?
Yeah, dude.
Nice.
All right. Always fun to be with you guys. Go Frogs.
Go Frogs. So how are we going to